Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of our TESCH Talks. Today our guest is Michael. He is the co-founder of the Commons and also Light the Hoan. And specifically today we're going to be talking about Code the Hoenn, which is a program designed to help teach STEM-related things to students who want to learn how to code. And what's really cool is we have the beautiful Hoan Bridge here in Milwaukee. And this program that you guys are putting on is really to help these students learn how to code, to light up the bridge through thousands of lights and sync it to music and all this kind of stuff. So tell us how that got started and what it's all about.
Well, I think that, from the get-go when we launched this effort, we wanted this to be a community project. We wanted it to be about more than lights on a bridge in Milwaukee. And so, we started by allowing people to dedicate bulbs to loved ones and tell their stories. And we've got like over 2,000 of those really awesome Milwaukee stories that people have submitted and dedicated bulbs. As we were getting into the kind of the nitty-gritty of selecting the lights that would eventually go on the bridge, we really came to understand that there's a tremendous amount of technology behind these lights, and they can do all sorts of crazy things, from syncing to live music or recorded music to connecting via an API to the scoreboards at the Fiserv Forum or Lambeau Field or wherever, that allowed us to do some pretty cool things. When we asked, like what other cities are using this technology in different ways, the answer that we got from our vendor was actually not too many, simply because they didn't have the tech talent to be able to do some of the things that they really wanted to do and didn't raise the funds to be able to hire this company to come in and do that work. And that kind of presented an opportunity for us to say, gosh, Milwaukee's trying to be a tech hub. We want to develop more technical talent here. What better way to get kids involved in learning about STEM and coding by actually teaching them how to manipulate and run these lights. And so the idea of Code the Hoenn was sort of born out of that, of course, that need to be able to program and make these lights do something amazing for Milwaukee, but also to really fulfill that mission that we started with in this project, was to make it about more than lights on a bridge. And in this case, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, students and kids are going to be able to learn something out of this and get exposure to tech-related things, and if they want to be a programmer and things of that nature. So that's really, really cool.
I joke that I'm a recovering programmer myself, and when I was taught to code, it was in maybe 7th or 8th grade, and we were learning how to build a mortgage calculator.
Oh, seriously?
And, yeah, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell a mortgage is in 7th grade, but it was teaching you, how to loop and apply interest and all this sort of stuff. And I think back to that now, being like, it's amazing that I stuck with coding, because that was not exactly an exciting project to work on to help you understand that. And I think that's part of the challenge in developing coders and programmers, especially at an early age. What's going to be that sort of exciting thing that helps them understand how, code is behind almost everything that we do in our world.
Right.
But if you can allow them to see that play out literally in lights on a big bridge, a big iconic bridge in a town that you've grown up in and have seen that bridge around, that could be a very compelling reason for young people to get interested in coding.
So if I were a student and I wanted to participate in this program, how would I go about doing that?
Yeah, so right now there's going to be learning modules that will be created, and we've got a team of students from MSOE and Islands of Brilliance working on those right now, along with our engineers from Philips and Signify, which is our lighting company. Once those are ready, we're going to be inviting partners to participate with us to help disseminate and get those learning modules out, either into classrooms or different summer camps, weekend events, things like that. So our primary partners right now are the Boys and Girls Clubs, Sharp Literacy, Discovery World. So they'll be some of the first ones to start to get those learning modules out to their networks of kids. But then we'd love to invite, there's a whole lot of people focused on STEM, you guys, to utilize your networks to get this out. There will be online modules similar to a code.org kind of style that eventually we'd love some teacher in Appleton who wants to play with the bridge lights in a classroom and teach kids about coding to be able to do that. And so we've kind of got a tiered process of how we're going to get these learning modules out. We're going to start obviously here in our own backyard with some of the partners that really have access to the kids that we want to work with.
So you talk about these modules and things that you're building out to then enable the students to learn from. So who's kind of running and developing those and kind of being like the teachers for those students?
So the modules are being built by a company here in town called Foresight, and they are working with MSOE, a group of MSOE students and a group of Islands of Brilliance students to actually develop like the modules that a student would actually go through and work with online. And we're targeting 5th through 12th graders, so there's a variety of different modules to be able to do this. Now, the code for the actual bridge itself is a language called Lua that not many people might know about, and might not be the language that we would want to teach a 5th grader. But how do we use the bridge lights as a way to teach them about what a variable is, what an attribute is, how you loop through a sequence, and we might use a simple language like HTML or Swift or something like that as just a learning point for them. As students would progress, we hope to actually get sort of a group of students in town that do know how to really program these lights to do any number of light shows, whether that's syncing to live music at Summerfest or to a recorded song at Radio Milwaukee, or every time Giannis dunks, those lights do something.
Get the green color going.
Exactly, cream and green on the bridge.
That would be very cool. So, they are lights. So, when is kind of the first flip of the switch of when you want these lights to showcase and be shown? Is there a deadline of kind of what you're working towards?
Yeah, we've got this little event coming to Milwaukee in July called the DNC. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I have not heard of that.
Our goal is to have them up in time for the DNC, and that's looking very positive right now. So we've been working with the DOT, with our lighting vendors, with the engineers to really build a schedule and a timeline basically backwards from that date. So we know when we need to have certain checks in the mail to certain people on which dates in order to make sure that we're ready to go for the DNC. The overall construction process is only an 8-week project. So they'll go up fairly quickly once the lights are here in Milwaukee and available to be put up on the bridge.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see that. And if there's some sort of event that you guys put on where you're going to be like 3, 2, 1 countdown and turn them on, I would love to go to that.
Oh, there will be.
So,
it might involve barges. I don't know.
It's
going to be a good
cool.
time. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for sitting down with us and telling us about this whole program. And it's super cool to kind of bring something that could be, not as cool, when you're like, I'm a programmer, I'm in tech, like blah, blah, but bringing something that people can actually see will really be awesome. So.
It's an important thing in helping to kind of rewrite the narrative about Milwaukee. So thanks for highlighting it.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
All right.